Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We should be live on both YouTube and here inside of the Discord. If anybody who's watching on YouTube would like to ask any questions, feel free to hop in the Discord and ask there. We're going to be doing first a little bit of a lesson on how to revive saturated products, and then we're going to be going into Q&A and AMA at the end. So that's how we're going to run it. Without further ado, let's get started. So, I'm sure that all of you guys have heard of the term saturated products. I'm sure you guys have all banged your head against the wall wondering how should you approach running a product if there's a bunch of other people running it, okay? And I think we've all been there to a certain extent where we're hesitant to run something because we believe that it's oversaturated. So the first thing I want to talk about is like, what does that even mean? What does saturation even mean? Okay. When we look at what an oversaturated product is and actually is, the singular one that like might come to the top of my mind would be like fidget spinners. So you guys have all you guys remember like the fidget spinner craze that happened a few years ago, where like everybody and their mothers was selling fidget spinners? That would be like where I would say you're hitting like a certain amount of like really big market saturation. And even then, you could get away with selling fidget spinners. And that's kind of what we're going to talk about today, is like, how do you approach when you have a bunch of competitors that are selling the same product, that are scaling the product to 7 figures a month? How do you get a piece of that pie, right? Like that's what we're trying to identify here. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna tell you exactly, like I'm gonna give you the answer, and then we're gonna break it down, because the answer has different levels to it, and there's many different ways you can approach this. But we're gonna start off with just giving the answer. Yeah, and then we're gonna break it down. So the question, the $1 million question, is how to revive a saturated product. All right. And the $1 million answer to this question is going to be to reposition the product, or in other words, I'm going to say refresh the positioning of the product. Okay. Now we're gonna break this down into what this actually means, but this is the answer. Okay. To revive a saturated product, to sell a product that is being heavily scaled in a market, you need to simply refresh the way you're positioning this product in the market. You need to be able to reposition the product in a market to where the market is now going to be able to buy that product. And then we're going to break this down, right? So there's one really great way to approach this, and it's going to be narrative. Okay? So you have to ask yourself, let's do some examples. So we see, you guys have probably all seen that that space projecting thing that shoots lights up, and we can actually pull it up on, let's do this. If we look at a product that I think we all deem saturated, which is like those space projector. Okay, so these guys. So I'm sure you guys have all seen these space projectors. I want to now tie in with what we're talking about to an actual example. So these space projectors are often positioned to people who want to make their room look more aesthetic. So people want to buy this product to upgrade their bedroom, right? If we go to Amazon, look, Galaxy projector for bedroom. What's the positioning here? All right, well, they're saying projector for kids. So these guys are potentially angling this product at people to buy it to enhance the bedroom for their kids. Let's just pretend, let's use that as narrative. So saturated product, right? Saturated product being the space projector is, let's just say that your top competition is selling it to parents to buy for kids' bedroom. Okay? So let's just say that your saturated product is, this one that we're talking about right now, is primarily angled at parents buying it for their kids' bedroom. Let's pretend that that's like where you have the highest people scaling it. And how you identify this is by going and studying the people that are spending the most amount of money for this product on ads. You can identify that through looking through Facebook library. You can identify that through looking through different spy tools, for example, Foreplay. You can identify by looking at the language they are using, at what is the narrative that they're marketing it with. What is the demographic that they're speaking to, okay? Every product can have multiple different demographics that you can speak to, which allows you to shift the narrative to a different demographic with a product that is proven to sell and be able to be a market leader to that different demographic with a different narrative. So as we break this apart, how to revive a saturated product, the first thing we're talking about is repositioning the product, refreshing the position of the product in a market. And the best way you can do this is through the narrative that you run with, okay? So how can you address a different narrative in said market? I'm gonna show you how you can take angles and how you can address them differently so you can run the same angles that your competitors are running and still compete. What does this mean? You can use the exact same angles as your top competitors and you can still compete with them and be able to run with a slightly different narrative. We'll break that down first. So check this out. You can go ahead and take parents that are trying to buy this for their kid's bedroom and you can ask yourself, what is a different pain point that these parents might have? How can I get deeper? All right? Let's just say your kids have anxiety. Right? Let's just say your kids have anxiety. You can go ahead and now angle the entire product that you're bringing to a market to parents and say, hey, if your kid has anxiety, this product's gonna, allow them to relax more when they're in bed. The same thing can happen with, like, let's just say the kids have hard time sleeping. You can take the exact same angle or the exact same angle and exact same demographic that maybe a big competitor is speaking to parents to buy for a kid's bedroom. And you could say, hey, this product can help your kids sleep better. It's going to relax them. You see what I'm saying? You can identify different pain points to address using the same narrative that an existing competition is really scaling heavily. What does that allow you to do? That allows you to compete. We can take this a step further. So just how we have parents to buy for kids' bedrooms, we have people buying this product to make their bedrooms aesthetic. that is a completely different narrative that you'll see a lot of other people that are, you know, running similar products like this, whether it's this model or whether it's the little space one, space projector, spaceman projector, this one here. So look, best gifts for children and adults. Okay. Starry Night. Galaxy Space Buddy. So this exact product can be targeted to parents to buy for their kids' bedrooms to help the kids sleep better, to help them relax. The same product can be targeted as an aesthetic appeal to a demographic that wants to enhance their bedroom. This could be for teenagers. This could be for young adults. This could be for anybody who wants to create an ambience in their room. The point that I want to make with what we're breaking down here is that you can take existing narratives that people are scaling, and you can break those narratives down into different pain points that can get more specifically targeted that allow you to take a piece of that pie with the product. You can additionally identify new audiences that you can market to with the exact same product where the product is going to be relevant to. That is going to be one of the easiest ways to approach repositioning a product in a market. Now I want to break this down a little bit more, give a few more examples. So this exact same product can be for parents to buy for their kids' rooms, to allow their kids to be more relaxed, to allow their kids to potentially sleep better. These are all angles that you could attack more directly and create an entire store around that channels these desires that these parents might have. Same thing can happen for, let's just say, girls that want to create a super aesthetic room, that want to create an ambience in their room. The same people that are buying those, you know, those LED strips that go across the top of the ceiling, those are going to be the same people that might want to create the same ambience in their room with a projector, right? You see what I'm saying there? So it's like you can, and I'll give a completely different example here is going to be for like the back posture devices. You can sell a back posture device to somebody who has back problems, but you can also sell a back posture device to somebody to prevent future back problems. So what does this, boil back down to? Repositioning the product. You guys see the tie there? So how does this apply to what you're trying to do? How do you actually implement this in said saturated product that you're looking at? The best is to do some research. So we can pick any product. I think a great example of this is just going and looking at like the most generic products. Let's look at toothbrushes. Let's look at a eco-friendly toothbrush. Cool. And we're gonna dive into this so deep that you guys are gonna 100% be understanding this, because this is super, like, it's gonna make sense. I'm gonna make sure that you guys are all understanding this. Toothbrushes. Look at soaps. Look at anything that is commonly used, and you will see that there are so many brands that are able to come into the market and compete. Why? Because of this. Because they're able to reposition the product in the market and sell it with a different angle. Sell it specifically maybe with a different narrative. Sell it with going down and breaking the narrative down and hitting something more specific with it. Look at the example we're looking at right now. Eco-friendly toothbrushes. Toothbrushes have existed for forever. Yeah, Danny is saying Dr. Squatch is a great example. It is. Dr. Squatch sells soap. And there's a bunch of other brands that sell soap. If you look up eco-friendly soap, for example, you're gonna see Blue Land. I haven't heard of some of these, but like these are brands that are directly competing with, like, what can be more saturated than the items that we all have? You know what I'm saying? Like, same thing can be said about fidget spinners that would be considered like super saturated products. Well, yes, look at all the fidget devices that exist. People still sell fidget devices. They're just shifting it slightly. Okay? And this is going to boil into what we're going to talk about next also, which is identifying how you can take a product that is saturated and how you can like one up it. How you can revisit a saturated product and bundle it and make it better and position it potentially in the same way that your competition's doing it, but allow it to be different in some way, allow it to be unique in some way. So, okay, let's go. And I want to break down toothbrushes first before we go to other ones. Just because it's, I think, such a great example. So, toothbrushes, okay? This is a product that we all have a toothbrush, but what is going to allow a new brand that is coming into the market to sell you on a new toothbrush? Well, what you'll notice is there's a lot of brands that are approaching the eco-friendly angle, and they're able to take a product that is saturated, reposition it in the market, and then sell it by angling it to people that are interested in sustainable products, that people that are actually concerned about things that are going to kill them and want something that's healthy, right? So you could see recyclable plant-based heads, innovative slim aluminum body, 40+ day battery life, yada, 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 dentist approved clean. This is an electric toothbrush that they're selling for an $80 AOV. They're probably having some upsells here. And these guys are no doubtably printing money with this. It's a fucking toothbrush, guys. Like, let's go to, I'm actually curious. I've never seen this brand before, but let's go ahead and look at their Facebook. They're running 680 ads. A toothbrush you'll look forward to using every day.
What are your first impressions?
Oh, it feels really nice. And I like the color as well.
It's lovely. It's a good looking toothbrush. Nice and light.
I like the
Look at
color.
this creative.
It's very sleek.
This toothbrush isn't for everyone. We know buying a toothbrush isn't easy, especially when every model looks the same and tells you features like 6 brushing modes, AI, and an app that connects to your phone are important. They're not. We're different. We're for people who care about buying brilliantly engineered, beautifully designed products that do one job really well. We got rid of gimmicks and pointless features so we could half the size of our brush whilst giving you a dentist level clean. And we prioritise things that actually make your life better, like 40-day battery life and a whisper quiet motor that won't wake your partner. We're for people who care about buying fewer but better products. Products that are built to last, not become obsolete. Or for people who want to live more sustainably and appreciate things like brush heads that are plant-based and recyclable. And for people who want things that put a smile on their face. We're Surrey, the last toothbrush you'll ever need.
I think it's great. Like, I think this is a super solid brand to look at that showcases sustainable, like a sustainable toothbrush that is well positioned in a massively saturated market. And there's, like, again, there's a bunch of other examples that we can look at. Like, this is a different brand that also sells a toothbrush, except theirs is made out of bamboo. Right? What are they doing? They're repositioning the product. And I want to make this also very clear. You don't need to have a product that is absolutely different to be able to reposition it. You don't need to have a bamboo toothbrush to be able to reposition it in a market. You need to be able to identify a different angle to be able to market to the demographic and be able to allow your product to stand out from all the other people that are selling it. How you do that is going to be based off of what we talk about next. You can either do this by shifting the narrative and identifying how to speak to a different demographic more specifically. You can also do this by taking the product and bundling it and making it a little bit different from your competition. Bundling is a great example. Take it and bundle it with complementary products. Great, you're selling a space projector that absolutely everybody else is selling. What can you add in that bundle that's going to allow it to be different? That's going to allow you to stand out? Well, let's just say that you're angling the space projector at females that want to have an aesthetic room. Great. Maybe you want to bundle it with some type of infuser, scent infuser, something that's going to emphasize their room's vibe even more. I don't know, I'm just shooting off the top of my head. Let's say, right? You bundle that now together, you bring it to that market's now more likely to respond to that because now they're not just getting a product that everybody else is selling, but they're getting it with something else, with something different. I'm going to tie in with another thing. Better offer. Like, one of the easiest ways to revive a saturated product is to make a more aggressive offer that's going to allow you to stand out from everybody else that's selling it. Again, this is not particularly reinventing the wheel and bringing, let's just say, an eco-friendly version of a space projector. It's simply allowing you to stand out and do what? Reposition the product. You see how it ties? So there's many ways you can reposition products, and that's what I want to get at. That's what I want to pass to you guys here today. One of my absolute favorite is marketing better. Great. There's people that are marketing the product. There's, let's just say, 10 brands that are running 7 figures a month with the product. One of my favorite ways to reposition it is to market it better. Understand the demographic better. Go and study those brands. That's going to allow you to have a better understanding of who they're speaking to, of the questions customers have. Go study the reviews. Go understand what issues people have with it. Yeah, baby stuff projections, Daniel's saying in chat. 100%. 100%. Amen. I agree with you. You can take a space projector and market it to mothers who have newborns, which helps put them to sleep. That's a great example. What is that doing? That's repositioning the product in a market. Cool. I want to go through some more examples, and let's see. Let's look through. Let's look through some of the top brands that are running ads right now on Meta. Check this out. This is a brand called Loop. Loop has multiple different angles that they can market to, and we're gonna talk first about what the fuck Loop is. Loop is a brand that sells you earplugs. Earplugs. I shit you not, earplugs. I can go and buy earplugs from the local Dollar General. I can go buy earplugs from, like, it's as saturated as you can get. What are they able to do differently? Well, let's look through their marketing. Let's analyze what they're doing. So they have some marketing. Let's look at this first. What is it saying? I'm looking for earplugs for concerts. One angle. Earplugs for concerts. Thumbs up. Look at this. No in-flight interruptions with earplugs. Second angle. In-flight interruptions. People that fly. The noise that when they're flying. Right? And these guys, they're literally giving you these different angles. How to be a calmer parent. They're hitting a parenting angle with earplugs. They're repositioning a product that you can buy absolutely anywhere in so many different ways. This is why I love big brands that have big creative teams and studying them, because they literally give you different angles to try and to test, because they are already at a point where it makes sense for them to be testing a lot more. And you can learn from this. You can literally take, like, let's just say you wanted to approach selling earplugs in a market. You can, just by looking at this brand, identify 1, 2, 3, and there's many more. 4, here's the 4th one. Noisy neighbors got you tossing and turning all night. Sleeping. Here's another one. Get ready for bed. Discover the new and improved loop switch. Check this out. What's the number one reason you need earplugs? Sleep, noise sensitivity, music. I think this is great. Look, you can take, let's just say you want to approach a super saturated market like fucking earplugs. You can take and analyze now each of these different angles, each of these different ways to reposition yourself in a market, and you can study them and see what has a large demographic that might be interested in buying your product. I'll go down a really quick rabbit hole here. Noise sensitivity. There are many people that are genuinely noise sensitive, that have issues when there's things that are loud. You can approach it by diving into that audience, studying noise sensitivity, studying how to position the product, which is just a simple earplug, to be able to apply directly to a market that is massive, that is a problem solving product, into a market that needs it, by repositioning it. You see? And this is like, this could go, I'm gonna check this out now. Now imagine, let's just say these guys are hitting all of them. Great, how can you go deeper? You could reposition it now by, let's just say, making eco-friendly fucking earplugs for people that are noise sensitive. Eco-friendly earplugs for people that sleep. Your earplugs can now use recycled materials. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can take absolutely any product and identify different angles to sell it, and then take all these different angles and get even more specific with them. You can go deeper and deeper and deeper. Like, you can sell this to moms that have trouble sleeping because their babies are crying. You can sell this to people that are noise sensitive. You can sell this, yeah, for people that have autism, literally. I could do this all day. Like, we can analyze multiple more brands, and I just want to show you how and I'm specifically looking at products that are like beyond saturated. These lamps, these space lamps, these are not saturated, right? I know people running six, 7 figures a month with these right now. I know people running 6, 7 figures a month with back posture correctors. Like, you can run up. This is why my personal thesis is more so on the marketing, less so on the creative side. Or sorry, yeah, more so on the marketing, less so on the product side. Let's look at a few more. Let's look at I'm gonna open a few that I haven't heard of before so we can get some like genuine analysis. Let's also go into some specific niches to break this down. Let's go. Let's go home and garden. Okay, let's break this down. I've never seen this brand before. Try Bello.
Y'all, this stuff is the real deal. I was skeptical when I bought it, but now I can honestly say this is a lifesaver. The absolute holy grail of hair care products.
Okay, hair care products. I can tell you what this does without even listening more to the ad. This is a product that helps you get fuller hair, right? Product that helps you get fuller hair. Look at this. We can sell products to have fuller hair to people who are losing hair. We can sell products for getting fuller hair to people that are worried about losing hair. We can sell these products to people that are old. We can sell these products to people that are young. We can sell this product to women. We can sell this product to men. We can sell this product as a gift to people that are losing hair. Like, hey, do you know a family member that's going almost fucking bald? Like, get this product for them. You can say, like, I just like that. That's a few that are just coming to the top of my head. Take that product, make it now more appealing by hitting an angle of let's just say quality of product, quality of good. Take this exact product, take hair growth. I mean, this is a massive niche, massive and quote unquote oversaturated, right? By many that think that. You can take it and you can position it by having a healthy version of a hair growth product that has healthy ingredients. And now you can, let's just say, angle it at men who are losing hair, who want to have fuller hair. You see, like you could angle it like that, and that's a huge market. There's a lot of guys that want like a healthy product to help them not lose their hair. And you can angle it and bring the product and reposition it. I love this one. All right, we're gonna do another one here. This is, I don't even know. This is different home appliances. Home appliances. Huge market. Oversaturated. Yet there's many brands that are absolutely printing with selling home appliances. Let's talk about different approaches here. And let's just say if I were to go into home appliances, how might I approach it? Well, let's just say that we identify that this couch here, we'll watch this ad. Let's just say that this couch here is a saturated winning product, whatever. They really show the vibe with it. I really like that. But look at this. So, our kind of winter whites pairs the gentle. Okay, so creating calm and cozy home sanctuary, right? So this is being sold to people for their home to create a cozy home. Great. How might you approach this product right here, which is super general and super quote unquote saturated couch, right? I'll give you a very simple approach here that could absolutely print. And here's how you should think about it. Who might this be applicable to? That's the question to ask. So, who? Well, you might have people that have homes, right? It's gonna be people that have homes, right? So you need to have a house, right? So you need to have, I fucking butchered that spelling, but you need to have a house to essentially be buying a couch for it, or you need to be renting, right? Renting an apartment. Okay, we'll use those two examples. Great, that's a requirement. Now, who are the people that are applicable there? Like, what's the demographic that exists within homeowners and people that rent? Well, it's going to be people that are actively, and we'll just go with house. Well, it's going to be people that are either living in that house, or it's going to be people that are renting a house. Okay? So, again, I just want to show the logic. This is what the logic you're going to use for absolutely every time you do this. Who is this product applicable to? Who might buy this product? For a couch, it's going to be people for their home, right? Whether it's somebody who is living in that house, or somebody who's renting out their house, or somebody who's living in an apartment, renting that apartment and buying a couch for that apartment, right? We're gonna break this one down specifically. So a landlord, right? We're gonna say landlord. A landlord is renting out their house. Let's get a little bit more specific. An Airbnb host is finishing a house that they're going to be renting on Airbnb. And you have your main competitor, let's just say, that's selling this couch to people that are living in their house. And let's just say that they're just mainly selling to people that are living in their house, selling the ambience that they can create with it, selling the families that they can build with in there. Great. You can approach with the same product Airbnb hosts and market to them in a very similar way the ambience that they can create with their Airbnb to make them more money. You see? Like that's going down the rabbit hole for a couch. You could do it with anything. You see what I'm saying? Like, I need fire emojis in the chat if you guys are getting this, if this is comprehending. Like, I need to make sure that we're on the same page here. And again, this can apply to absolutely every single product. Like gaming chairs. You can sell a gaming chair as a gift. You can sell a gaming chair as two people that game. You can sell a gaming chair. Look at this. We're just gonna keep going just because it makes so much sense that I want to make it make more sense. Look at this. Build a world-class setup that keeps you going. They are selling this at Gamers. You can take this exact same chair and you can sell it to people that are in specifically racing games, right? You can market this product as the racing game chair. Obviously, it needs to make sense, okay? It obviously has to be able to fit in that market. But you can take a general gaming chair, and you can sell it as the best gaming chair for people that are trying to play games with steering wheels and racing games. Right? And I can promise you that there's a market for that. Like if we look, drifting series, like, yeah, RX Racer drifting series. Like this is, I did zero research into this beforehand. And this is exactly proof of what I'm saying, because there is a company called DX Racer that sells a $400 chair, which is the exact same, like, again, maybe not exact same. There's maybe some small, slightly change things about it, right? But it sells a gaming chair to people that is angled as racing. It's angled like drifting series. I've literally never done research into this, but they're angling, like you can take this chair and you can now angle it at people that are specifically racing. You can do the exact same thing and get specific with, you can make gaming chairs for girl gamers. Like, yeah, another great example is gaming chairs for plus size people. Like, let's look at that. Gaming chair for plus size men. Boom. Boom. Heavy duty series MB30 black, $127. Nice wide chair. Give an example for shapewear. Yeah, we can get into shapewear. But like, do you see what I mean by like again, when we can take gaming chair, we boil back down to who can buy it. Gamers, all sorts of gamers, whether it's gamers for specific games, big gamers, small gamers, woman gamers, teen gamers, dad gamers. Great. Now break those up and identify how you can sell to that specific group that isn't getting scaled to, that doesn't have a big competitor who's pushing it. What are we doing, guys? What are we doing here? We're repositioning the product. TF, this is recorded. It's going to be recorded on YouTube. All right. Let's go ahead and look at shapewear. There's a question in the chat.
Reasons to love our full briefs in under 30 seconds. Our full briefs offer the ultimate comfort and support. With a full coverage fit and a high-rise design, you'll feel protected from all angles. These have soft, wide waistbands.
Look at a different one. This is not exactly shapewear. Okay, this is here. Cool. Yeah, Hey Shape is a good example. I think there's definitely a few. We can look at Hey Shape as well. This is gonna be fun because there's a great approach to this. Okay, shapewear. Let's go back to our little diagram here. Let's do another sheet. Let's do it from the top. Who will buy shape wear? Okay? Who will buy shapewear? Women and men, potentially, but we'll go down the rabbit hole with women. Woman This is the truth. Women who want an immediate fix to their insecurities. Shapewear is not going to be a long-term fix. Shapewear is an immediate fix that helps you tuck in your belly a little bit more, fit into a suit, and look better. You're essentially catfishing people. Instant transformation, right? Yeah. That's what it is, right? Woman who gain weight during pregnancy and can't lose it. Yeah. So let's break this down. So women who want an immediate fix to their insecurities, and these insecurities are specifically for the body. Let's break this down now. Who might these women be? Well, these women might be, I think we had a good example here in the chat. Post pregnancy. We have All right, we're gonna break a few of these down. So we have post-pregnancy, women that just give birth and they're not happy with their immediate look and they want to fix to that immediate look. We have different races of women that want to that feel insecure about their bodies and want to, fix those insecurities immediately. We have different ages of women, specifically women as they get older that have certain things they're insecure about weight-wise, want to potentially still be going out and dating, for example. I think this is an interesting one. Different ages. I believe older women that are single, right? So this could break down now into older woman, let's do single woman, younger single woman. And this is going to be mainly like plus size, right? Like that's essentially what's happening here. Cool. So as I'm writing these down, we're getting more and more specific. So we have people that are post-pregnancy. These can be people that are of different races, of different ages. We have older single women that want to be mingling, be dating, want to look slim immediately to be going out, right? We have younger women that are plus size, that want to be going out, that want to be mingling, dating, looking good, have insecurities, want to fix those insecurities immediately. Again, insecurities about dating, insecurities about going out. Boils back down to women who want to want an immediate fix to their insecurities. Now, what I want you to notice is the different combinations that can exist here, right? We can have a brand that is just for post-pregnancy, women post-pregnancy that want to immediately fix post-pregnancy insecurities. You could create a brand that specializes in that. And I would be surprised if there wasn't one. My computer is also going to die. Give me 1 second here. Look at this. Post-pregnancy. I mean, the first one's depression, right? So it tells you there's a market for it right away. Post-pregnancy shapewear. So this is a good, I think this is a good example here. I don't know what, so this is just a sizing chart here. I don't get, maybe this is mobile optimized. Yeah, okay. It's mobile optimized. But you can see this brand here, it's literally a postpartum girdle corset, right? Run small, recommended to size up, C-section and natural birth okay. Like this is specific for women that just gave birth. Description. Can be worn after C-section or natural birth. Yada, 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 yada. Point I'm getting at. There's people that are speaking to people that are insecure about their post-pregnancy body. I can almost promise there's brands that are specific to different races. I can almost promise that there's brands that are specific about insecurities for dating, about insecurities for going out. See what I'm saying? You can take the angle of selling to women who want an immediate fix to insecurities that they have, to empower them to be their best selves, right? Like that's the way you would phrase it. And you could go down any of these markets, any of these peoples, and you can speak to them specifically. You can take now the product and you can make it have even another angle. You can go the eco-friendly route. You can go the sustainable material route. You can go the every purchase helps a baby in need for post-pregnancy route. That's now how you stand out from these other ones. If you look at Honeylove, the #1 shapewear for moms, it's an angle they're hitting. Wedding shapewear. There's another angle for you. I had this on from getting ready until the dancing ended. This is a whole entire page for weddings. We didn't even write that down, right? But weddings is another one. Proms is another one. Any event going out. I had this on, yeah, like this is, look at how they're speaking to the target demographic that they're sending here for weddings. It's a review that's talking about how this is a game changer, how it helped her feel secure and comfortable. What is this doing? Fixing the insecurities of not feeling secure, not feeling comfortable.
I'm so lucky to have you in my bed every single night. Just a bit of pillow talk with my new Simba hybrid pillow. While you're here, let me tell you about it. We all know how difficult it can be when purchasing a new pillow. Do I go for the big one, the small one, the thick one, the thin one? Well, this is where Simba hybrid pillow comes into its own. As you can see here, one pillow is big and one pillow is small. And that's because the Simba hybrid pillow is completely adjustable.
These guys brought an adjustable pillow to the market. I mean, I'm sure that's a thing that everybody can source off of absolutely anywhere, China. But what are they doing here? Repositioning the product. How are they doing it? By attacking the pain point of don't be going between big pillows and small pillows. This pillow can do both. It can be adjustable. All right. I think the point was made. Does everybody in this live understand how to approach reviving saturated products in a market? All right. Cool. Let's open this up for some Q&A. Feel free to raise your hand if you would like to hop on stage. We'll do one person at a time. And if you're in the YouTube live, you're welcome to come into the Discord and ask questions as well. Yo, what's going on?
Hi, Alex.
How are you
Thanks
doing,
for having me.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, we've been using the strategy of ABO
Okay.
because it gives like solid understanding of whether the creative works or not. But the issue that I'm having is that it's very expensive, especially when you test like 20 creatives and only like 4 of them work. We've tried using CBO and ASC, but the same creatives that we test in CBO, when put into an ABO, they simply just perform better in an ABO. Could there be the case that the ad account is used to the ABO structure, and we should just, how would we transition from that structure to a more like Facebook intelligence-oriented one?
Yeah, so that's a good question. Whether you run in a CBO or an ABO, creatives that are going to perform and creatives that are working creatives are going to be taking the spend and getting you the performance. Let's just say you're running in a CBO structure, you're putting ad spend, things aren't performing there, but then you take it out and it's working well in an ABO. I would then continue to test ABO moving forward. That's how we test. It's correct, a little bit less efficient, but it does give you certainty with the tests that you do. Let me think.
Okay.
Are you facing the issue where the CBO simply doesn't distribute the budget to the ones that to creatives that you want it to, or elaborate a little bit more on the issue you're having with the CBO?
Like exact example.
Sure.
Right. CBO, new marketing angle, 5 ad creatives.
Mm-hmm.
Right. two prominent creatives that got spent only got 2 sales in 2 days, right?
Okay.
Put them in an ABO with a 20 euro budget. Each gets 2 sales in 1 day. Right. But take into account we've always used ABO. So I am in like I'm having I don't know if this is like a delusion or something that Facebook is just used to the ABO structure and it doesn't like the CBO. I don't know.
I wouldn't say so. I don't think you're not gonna have Facebook just be used to, like, it's not gonna be a meta oriented issue, in my opinion. It's going to be more so if you only ran that CBO for 2 days, it's not enough time for that CBO to be gathering enough data, for it to be distributing budget properly. Anything that you run, my recommendation would be to let it run for a minimum of 5 to 7 days. And then after 5 to 7 days, then look at the data and make decisions based off of that. However, I don't believe that the account is more likely to perform better for you in ABO than CBO. I believe that if the creatives are good enough to be performing ABO, that you can also have them in CBO and that they can be performing as well in CBO. Is there any difference in the targeting at all?
No, it's both are fully broad.
Yeah. In that case, I would say you're just getting, like, the sample size of the CBO was 2 days, and then you ran it ABO on two different time period. I just don't think it's a big enough sample size. I would let them run longer in the CBO. And I think that if you let them run longer in the CBO and then let's just say you side by side let them run longer in the ABO, I think you're going to see very similar performance from them.
Okay. So ABO is more about like immediate results, if right?
ABO is going to force spend to where you want it to force spend to, which is going to allow you to get concrete data on if something's working or something's not working.
Yeah. And do you think that if I give these 5 days in the end, like on a monthly view, I would spend less money on creatives that don't work?
If you're running ABO, yes, you will be having a certain amount of inefficiencies in the creative tests that you do, but that's because you're forcing spend to it. CBO is going to remove those inefficiencies, but it might not be spending to every creative that you might want to get spent. So there's a give and take. However, I have seen with about 99% accuracy that if you add a creative in a CBO that is better than the current spending ones, that the spend will shift and that the performance will improve with a better creative being put in there.
Perfect. Okay, one last question really quick. ASC as the main scaling campaign, is that something you recommend?
I would say for scaling, ASCs I have a love and hate relationship with. I have scaled them a lot in the past. I would say either ASC or CBO are my favorite, like, consolidated scaling campaigns.
Because currently we have ABO as our main scaling campaign. So you would say to transition more into, like, give the Facebook the steer wheel.
As you the more you consolidate, the better the performance is going to be. Mm-hmm. However, scaling on the ABO level is not bad. I mean, I do that all the time. Like, in our ad account right now, I have multiple ads that we're scaling directly inside of the creative testing campaign. This here's an example. It started at $100, it's at $300, and we're just scaling it directly where it lies because it's performing.
Yeah, got it. Okay, thank you so much. So just to conclude, give the CBO more time, ASC more time, and yeah, that's basically it. Yeah.
Give all of your tests more time.
Yeah. Got it. Maybe I am looking a bit like short-sighted because the time that I'm giving it is 2, max 3 days, and then I cut it.
Yeah, think about it like this. Your performance is going to fluctuate on a weekly basis. You're going to have some days of the week that are better performance. For example, for us, it's weekends. I know that Thursday, Friday, Saturday are significantly better than, like, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. What does that mean? Well, that means that for me to get a good blended view of data, you want to get the whole period. And like I would say 7-day window is typically what I'm looking at a bare minimum.
Got it. Okay, very helpful. Thank you so much.
Cool,
man.
dude.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Let's get the next person up here. What's going on?
I had 2 questions.
Sweet, let's run them.
So my first question was, if you have big competition, right? So obviously in a saturated market, you're gonna have like big competitors. Do you think that the angle shift must be more, can be subtle, or does it have to be really sharp and like really targeting a completely different market? Or could it be more subtle, just like targeting a different age group, or maybe a different section of the same like gender, for example?
Yeah, it can 100% be more subtle. It just needs to be like, it needs to be subtle, but you need to be very bold about it, about the change and the difference. So what I mean by this is like, for example, the toothbrush example we were looking at earlier. Toothbrushes are very saturated, right? But subtle change is like eco-friendly toothbrushes, or toothbrushes for kids, or eco-friendly toothbrushes for kids that now you market to moms, right? So it could be the exact same product per se, and selling to, let's just say, a same market of people, which is, yeah, same market of people. Well, the people you would be selling to are going to slightly be shifting to the appeal that you're bringing new to the market, if that makes sense.
Okay. So when you really like niche down and then you really target like that specific audience, then is that what you recommend for subtle shifts, like really targeting a very specific audience within that market?
Yeah, I mean that's the
Okay.
that's the best way to revive a saturated product, is just approach it, take the exact same product, just find a different group of people that you can speak to and position your product to, that are going to be interested in buying it. And
Okay.
yeah.
Good. Yeah. All right. So my other question was for hold rates. So for your hold, like for the hold rate on meta ads, you define it as impressions divided by through place, right?
Yes.
Or through place divided. Yeah. So for your hold rate percentage, what percentage do you look for your creatives?
It's a good question. This will depend a lot on, there's a lot of factors it depends on. I would say anywhere, like if you're 5% plus, that's pretty good. A lot of ours are underneath that. But yeah, I would say that's ideal. I mean, you can see this is a 1%, a 1.7%. However, it has a really good hook rate, and it's like working really, really well. Like it has just the super high conversion rate. So
all right, I see.
I would say what is more important is going to be your hook rate, and your click-through rate. Yeah, and the ads ability to speak directly to that demographic and channel whatever angle you are positioning to that demographic with the product, positioning it as a solution to the problem that they have.
Right. Because for my test right now, I'm running a test and I have a decent hook rate, 41%.
Yeah.
I have a hold rate of 10%,
Okay.
but my click-through rate is a little bit low. It's 1.4%, right?
Okay.
And I'm getting conversions, but it's unprofitable so far. I've had 100 ad spend on this creative, but for the campaign about 300. So I didn't know what I should look for improving in my creatives for the next round of testing.
Okay. So if click-through rate is, what are your cost per clicks on it?
The cost per click is high too, 5.
Okay, great. So this tells you that if you are able to improve your click-through rate, you're going to be able to bring down your cost per click and essentially get more people to the website for a cheaper amount. So what I would be tackling here is click-through rate. Now, how do you get your click-through rate to be higher? Well, I'll throw a few bones at you. Adding more urgency. How can you make people FOMO more into whatever offer you're running, right? Today only. The offer's ending today. Go right now, use my link down below to go to the site and to utilize the offer. That's one example. Another example would be like, we're running for Valentine's Day right now. we're trying to squeeze Valentine's Day FOMO. So you could run it as, guys, today is the last day to order in time for Valentine's Day delivery. Go right now and order. So just increasing the FOMO of the ad, whether it's towards the end or whether it's, okay, taking the entire ad now using maybe the same exact sequence, but then having like a voiceover that's like really making it more urgent. Likewise, you can make the offer better. You can approach the offer in a way where it's like even more aggressive, even more like, you know, today only this crazy offer is available. You know, go take a look. I'll keep going. You could identify what are objections that people have, you know, from, you know, what are objections people have? What are reasons they're not going to the site? What are reasons they're not clicking? Identify those reasons. You can survey your demographic. You can have a little pop-up that comes up and is asking, is there anything stopping you from purchasing today? Which, if you don't know how to do, you can go to Ecom Live. This is a free video that I put on there, and you just look up Hotjar, setting up customer surveys using Hotjar, and you can directly implement a survey that will allow you to identify, why are people not buying? Why are people not, you know, moving forward? Then take that information, apply it in your ads, handle those objections, answer more questions, and more people are going to be comfortable to go to your site. Mix that with urgency, mix that with better offer, your click-through rate's going to go even higher.
Yeah, when you mentioned the voiceover, so I'm using 11 Labs for my creatives, right? And it's good, but I noticed that for this one, I think I talked to someone else and they raised this point. They said that the voice that I used didn't sound urgent and that the voice sounded like too relaxed. So do you have any like recommendations for female voices that are like more aggressive on 11 Labs?
Well, my favorite is to take creators we've worked with and like blend voices together to make our own voices. But honestly, I mean, just playing around with creating your own voices, I would say is a good hack for specifically 11 Labs. Also having people like read it, you know, anybody that, you know, read it in a more urgent manner, I think is a fine way to approach it. Also trying potentially like the standard TikTok text to speech, I've found sometimes to work even better than 11 Labs voices. Those would all be a few.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Have a good evening.
You as well, dude. Cool. We'll go ahead with the next one. If anybody has any more questions, feel free to raise hand to hop on stage.
What's going on, Alex? How are you?
What's going on, dude?
So I like to always ask about different, I think you kind of went over it already, like creative testing strategies, because right now what I'm doing is when I'm testing and scaling in the same campaign. So I have one CBO, one ad set, 3 to 5 creatives while I'm testing, and depending on the winning ad, I'll just increase the budget. Then I'll create a new ad set in that same CBO campaign with the winning creative, with the new creative, and it's separated. So, but then I increase the budget. Have you done something similar with an ABO campaign? So you have one ABO campaign, and you know, you may have had your testing ad set, and you have multiple scaling ad sets in that ABO campaign?
Yeah, so to answer your question, there's not really a right and wrong way to do it, to be completely honest with you. Here's what matters. Okay. What matters is taking creative and putting it in front, creative that's good creative that speaks to your demographic, and putting it in front of your demographic. Media buying is oftentimes overcomplicated. I think that your approach with a single CBO, where you have an ad set that you're testing in, and then an ad set that you're, let's just say, putting the new winning tests in, I think that's fine. I think that's great. I know multiple people personally that are spending 7 figures a month on a one CBO structure that's very similar to that. And that's a great way to keep it even more consolidated. Now, when would you maybe want to test and play around with ABO? Let's just say that you have inside that CBO multiple ad sets, and multiple different creative tests, and some of those creative tests aren't getting spent, and you want to now see what's going to happen if you force spend to them. That might be a situation where now I'm extracting it and testing it inside of its own ABO campaign.
Okay. And then also when you're creative testing, have you ever tried using a so say you're selling a female product, for example, let's say like a beauty product, maybe a facial cream or something for women. Have you ever tried using a man's voice as the voiceover on that creative?
Yeah, you 100% should. I mean, you should test to see what works better, a man's voice, a woman's voice. What you'll notice is that oftentimes when you're speaking to men, having a woman speak to them is going to be more efficient if they're talking in like a third person perspective. So like, for example, if I'm selling if I'm trying to get guys to buy a gift for their girl, I might have a girl say, hey, this is the best gift for your girlfriend. It's now more, it's positioning it as she's now an authority telling the dude that, you know, this is something they should buy. Like, you know, vice versa, having like a guy, let's just say doctor, who's talking about a product, like a beauty product, in like a way of authority, can be huge for the social proof aspect of it. Yeah, and it's something I would certainly be testing. What you'll notice is that it will make a big difference, right? If let's pretend that your demographic resonates the most, let's just say to Asian communities, right? What you'll notice is then having Asian people inside of the ad speaking to that demographic is going to convert significantly better, right? Because they relate to it. Likewise with other demographics. So testing this stuff is actually great because it will allow you to unlock better ways to speak to said demographic, which will allow you to then be able to optimize your ads even further. So that would be something that I would be heavily testing with, like, let's just say your top creative, different styles of people speaking to the audience, identifying which one speaks better to your audience.
Okay. All right, I'll try that out. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Cool. If there's anybody else, I will open the stage up for a few more questions here. I'm doing good, Dems. How are you doing?
I've already been on stage. I don't know if you're okay with that.
That's fine, dude.
Okay. How do you go about testing the website? Specifically the structure. Do you just duplicate an ad set and forward the traffic to a new landing page?
Yep. So there's multiple ways you can test different things on your site. The one that you mentioned is one of the easiest ones to do, which is to have a separate landing page and then take your top creative and send your top creative traffic from your top creative to one landing page, send then traffic from the exact same top creative to another landing page, have them both spending the exact same amount of money a day, and you'll be able to see which one converts better.
Mm-hmm. How big of a change do you, because okay, suppose we're lower scale than you, obviously. So if we spend like about 300 euros a day, right, in total.
Okay.
What metrics should we be looking at to like actually notice that there's a difference in this version of the site compared to the original version of the site? And how big should the changes be? Should I like fully restructure it, introduce new blocks maybe, or is it more like small things like changing the first review that shows up?
Sure. So the metric you should be looking at is conversion rate. Which version converts better? You can look at conversion rate. You can add a custom metric inside of your Facebook that lets you calculate conversion rate. And then you can look directly and see which page has more people converting. That's what I'd be looking for. And then in terms of the differences in the test that you do, it's a good question. It depends on what you're trying to test. What's going to make the most impact is going to be copy. It's going to be, Yeah, it's going to be copy, and it's going to be, I would say, images. Those are going to be the two biggest ones. Now, how you position the tests, how different you make them, that's up to you. We will typically have tests that are very specific. So like we have one version that has one copy, and then another version that has a completely different copy. And then we're looking for what language resonates more with our target demographic. And based off of, you know, that test, then we will use that as the variable, the static variable. And then we'll do another test to compete with this one. Maybe now we were testing images, or maybe we're testing like a review block being, you know, being different. Typically, how you block it together is going to make less of an impact than the language that you're using to speak to that person. The language and copy is going to be, I would say, the biggest thing you should be testing.
Okay, so like the rule of 80-20, 80 iterations and 20 just new stuff applies in website testing as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would again be testing primarily copy, and you can test, you know, wildly new things as well, and you should, because they can have a great impact. However, I would test one variable at a time, so you have an understanding of which direction is the best direction to take. You can also test completely different, you know, page against a completely different page, and you'll see very clearly which one's going to work, and then you can continue optimizing there. I would just do, yeah, one test at a time, utilizing conversion rate as the metric to look at to decide if something's working or not. And after you identify one variation that's working, I would go down and try to optimize that further. You can also use different apps to split test directly on your site. One that we've used is called Shoplift. There's other ones. I think one's called IntelliGems. That one's a little bit expensive. There's a few others, but we've used Shoplift before, and it's worked well for us. Okay. You mentioned a way to sell in a less saturated market, but there will still be competitors. If we're talking about Facebook ads, how will it be divided so that everyone gets their piece of the pie? So to answer this question, I think you need to understand just how big the pie is. It's a really big pie. Most markets have an absolutely massive, large demographic that exists in them. And having multiple competitors that are marketing on platform, again, when we look back at what matters here is repositioning yourself. How can you stand out from these competitors in whatever slight way that may be? And by doing so, you allow yourself to be a better option, a better alternative for somebody to purchase from you instead of buying from your competitors. But let's just say you're just marketing the exact same product. Like there's a bunch of people marketing eco-friendly toothbrushes. It's still, the pie is still big enough. And you'll notice that with most markets that you look into, that there's a large amount of people that will be able to buy that product. And it's how you differentiate yourself that will allow you to now potentially position your marketing to be better, position your product to be better. That allows you to take now more of the pie. But it doesn't mean that you can't go into a market that has a lot of competitors, market to that, and be able to get some of that pie yourself, etc. I don't know if that answers it, but that's yeah. Those are my thoughts there. You're good, dude. Yo.
Hey, Alex.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
I just had a quick question, more of, I understand your point, kind of, with this whole session, So like basically, let's just say like for a pencil, you try to like, let's say the desire is that it has X desire, and you basically choose the angle of said desire, and there's multiple angles you can choose of that one desire. Sorry, it's kind of a bad example. I understand that part, but how would you script write that, like from the beginning, hypothetically?
How would you script write from the beginning a different desire, like a different angle?
Yes, based off the angle with the given desire. I'm trying to think of a good like example. Let's say like the massage gun for athletes.
Okay.
The desire is it makes your muscles uncramp because X or whatever. Let's just say the desire is, hey, I like it because it makes my muscles uncramp.
Okay.
And the most people will choose the angle of it's good for athletes or football player, basketball player, whatever.
Yep.
How would you communicate that in a script to have a captivating hook and
Cool.
also good enough body?
Yeah, so let's then go with that. So if you're going for selling this to athletes to help their muscle recovery, right? So let's just say recover faster, move better. I think there's many angles and many like desires you can channel for athletes with said product. So as you narrow down to an angle, you take that angle and you break it down to what are the things it can solve here. So selling to athletes to move better, right? Quite literally on this PDP, it says to move better, to feel better, to recover faster. These are now 3 different angles that you can sell to athletes. Yeah, to athletes. Right. Now, how do you approach, script writing this? Let's just say you would pick one. You wouldn't want to do all 3 at the same time. You'd pick one. Let's just say recovering faster. Okay. What I would do is I would be calling out the problem at the very beginning. I would say, let's see, so for athletes, let me think. Okay. I would say this is why you can't recover fast enough after game day, right? So like I would identify specifically like what is the athlete trying to do. So we're talking about recovering faster. I would be calling that out very early on. I would be saying, do you feel sore? Do you constantly feel sore for your next game? Right? So like, and again, this is a copy that I'm just throwing off the top of my head, but I would be directly going after the angle to that demographic that you're trying to speak to, and I would be calling that out at the very beginning. 5 ways to recover faster after. Yeah, so thank you, Ducky. So there's a few of them. 5 ways to recover faster after game day. This is how I don't feel sore. Yeah, so this is how I don't feel sore after my game. I would even maybe go even more direct than that. Stuck of feeling sore after your games. Are you tired of feeling sore after your games? Are you not having enough game time because you're feeling sore during the games, right? So just hitting them right at the beginning like a bus, hitting that angle, that's how you're going to have, you're just going to stop them in their tracks. They're going to be like, oh yeah, I am tired of, feeling sore after games. Now, visually, you want to also have a visual hook that ties into this. So you want to have something that's showing up on screen of somebody being tired of feeling sore, or somebody like not able to, perform because of their muscles being sore. Tying in a visual hook with the copy that you're saying is going to make a very effective grab of attention. I think one great rabbit hole to go down for this is studying people that are already speaking to these demographics. So going and looking at videos from this brand here, going and looking at their ads that they're running.
Hi guys, my name's Andy Jandich. I'm the fullback fullback for the Cleveland Browns.
Right, like, so he's the fullback for the Cleveland Browns. Like, he's talking to the audience. You can see this specific gun. They are targeting at people that are, they're targeting this at specifically athletes. You can see it in the ads that they're running.
Hi there, my name's Kevin Miller. I play for the Boston Bruins.
Boston Bruins, NFL defenseman, right? Like, and these are just like testimonials that they have. Great. How would we now, let's go to their ads. How would we now speak? How are they speaking? What hooks are they using? All right, not what I'm looking for.
This is for the people that go to the gym religiously. So if you're not, keep scrolling.
So they're speaking now to people that are going to the gym religiously, right? You see how it directly calls out the group of people that they're speaking to.
Your recovery just got a massive upgrade. Okay?
Your recovery just got a massive upgrade. Again, directly speaking.
And that's another thing. How are, like, do you have any suggestions for coming up with like good phrase hooks like that?
Looking at what simply by looking at what is performing for other people that are either speaking to your demographic or other demographics, like looking and getting an understanding from inspiration is going to be one of the best ways to be able to craft your own versions of it by far. Like, just spending the time to like go through here and
hey everyone, Olivia here.
Okay, that didn't hook me. We already looked at that one.
Your recovery just got a massive upgrade.
Your recovery just got a massive upgrade. Cool.
What's the one thing that you need after a long day?
What's the one thing you need after a long day?
Do you have tight and sore muscle groups after hours at your desk? You're gonna...
Okay, look, desk. Do you have sore muscles after sitting at your desk? Right? Like, they're speaking to now a different demographic, a different group of people.
You know, sometimes my body just can't handle being at my desk.
Sometimes my body can't handle being at desk all day. And I don't even think, honestly, I don't think these are that great. Like, you know, I would give all the ones we listened to maybe like a 6 out of 10 or a 5 out of 10, personally. I think there's many better examples that you can look at from other companies. And I think that just spending the time to study these and going and looking at, okay, what is a massage gun? What's the one? Thera? Is it Theragun?
Yeah, Theragun, I'm pretty sure. Should be.
Maybe. Therabody? Maybe.
Yeah, close enough. That should be it right there.
I love a story, you know that. And this next modality has a story. I'm holding it.
These guys are definitely big to where they're running like high performance ads. Yeah. But for peak performance, the power of massage. Let's see.
Guys, I've been using the TheraFace mask and it's been doing wonders for my skin. It has
look at this. Okay. Guys, I've been using the TheraFace mask and it's been doing wonders for my skin. They're speaking to people that are looking to improve their skin. You see how within literally the first 2 seconds, that message is made across. Now people, within the first 2 seconds that are interested in improving their skin, they're listening. That's what you need to do for any angle that you target. If you're targeting specifically this machine at athletes to make their muscles feel better, you need to be specifically calling that out and having athletes listening within the first few seconds. Right? Like, that needs to happen. Now, again, back to your question of how do you get the inspiration from it, just what we're doing right now. Like, this is a great example of...
Guys, I've been using the TheraFace mask and it's been doing wonders for my skin.
Guys, I've been using this deep muscle therapy gun for after my games, and it's been improving my performance. You see how we just took an ad that was for a completely different product and like made it relevant to this one here, speaking to the demographic that we're trying to speak to this one.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. Like that's what you like. You go and you look at inspiration, you get ideas, you then see how those apply to what you're trying to create.
Okay. Sweet.
Yeah.
All right.
It's not a secret. It's just doing it.
Yeah, it's repetition, I guess. Huh? Thank you then.
Mm-hmm. All right, cool. Is there a reason to spend $100 on creative testing? Should the spend on a single creative exceed the price of the product? Testing your creative isn't going. Yeah, I mean, if you're testing ABO, I would be setting your starting ABO budget at roughly what your target cost per acquisition is. So if you get at least one sale per day, that you're able to, keep that test running essentially and let it, you want tests to run for, like I mentioned earlier, 5 to 7 days at a bare minimum. Meaning identifying a budget that you can let it run for that period. That's going to be first and foremost the most important. The reason we're running ours at 100 is we're being a little bit more aggressive since we're scaling for Valentine's Day. And I'm happy to test quicker by having a higher budget on those tests. So that's the reason that we're spending $100 per each ABO creative test. However, starting it at whatever your target cost per acquisition is I think a great practice. Alex, I can take a look at it when I do get some time. You can send that over. How to scale ABO ad sets? I'll show you how to scale an ABO ad set. You go to the ad set that you want to scale. Just say this one right here, and you take that budget and you add about 20% to it. So you go here and you type in .2 and you see $68. So we add $68 to it. That is how to scale an ABO ad set. Yes, if it's in line with your marketing efficiency, I agree with that. How much is required to actually start sustainable dropshipping business? Consistent, your ability to be able to consistently invest in that business. So having some type of job that brings in income where you can dedicate a certain amount of income to test. That's what's required for it. Not like, yes, you can start with $1,000, you can start with $0 in credit card debt, right? But if you're constantly having anxiety for the tests that you're running because you're limited to only X amount of funds, that's going to make it's going to result in you making rash decisions and typically result in not enough testing that's required to make it work. What do you do for product research? How do you stay in the loop with target demos like Puppering? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of content I did on product research. I can point you to some of it. But yeah, there's that I answered a few times in more in-depth videos. I would say go to the YouTube channel, go to the lives, and you'll see a few different ones on product research there. Potentially we'll sell Puppering at one point. Either sell or build it into a portfolio. All right, cool guys. We'll do a few more questions here, and then I'm gonna go head out to hit the gym. When you plan your testing, how do you put it on paper? I put it in a Google Doc, and then that Google Doc, we have meetings with my content coordinator and lead editor, and they take it and assign it to the team. We collect the right content. It's all pieced together by the editors. It gets reviewed, then it comes to me. I see an ad set that spent $250 with a $60 CPC on your screen and you're going to kill it way more. Let's see. What are you seeing? 60... This one here. You're saying... Okay, good question. This is a great example of why you should never look at a one-day period. This is today. Has a horrible ROAS. This is the last 7 days. It's absolutely printing money. That's why it's important to look at a blended view and not just media by a single day or single 2 days or single 3 days. Hey Alex, I'm seeing and wondering if you have any good and easy themes that I can use on Shopify for testing later scaling. David, there's a lot of good themes. I mean, I honestly, like, my biggest recommendation is not to overcomplicate it. Like, you can use a theme that has, a lot of people like Shrine because it has a lot of features that come out of the box. But honestly, just standard free Shopify themes have everything that you need in order to make a project that can give you a great conversion rate and scale with. Like, that's like, we use one called Motion. There's hundreds of themes, there's thousands of themes. Like, what's going to matter more than your themes is going to be your product photos. It's going to be the copy that you use. It's going to be your ability to channel whatever reason somebody's coming to your site within the copy of your site to handle the objections on your site. How does your team currently look like? I mean, that's a good question. Okay, so I'll break it down. There's also, again, content on Ecom Live about this. If you go home, you sort by recent videos, and you go down here, effective team management. This is a free video that you can see how we break apart team management on Asana. But to give you a quick little rundown, we have heads, department heads that are for each of the major departments: fulfillment, customer support, content coordination, CS. Yeah, I already said customer support. So there's department heads for each department. Each department has then employees that are in each department doing the actual roles. Department heads are managing those roles. On the creative side, for example, we have multiple editors. Those editors have a lead editor that manages those editors. Like I said, there's a content coordinator. There's strategists, which is myself. There's meetings that happen that tick for all those teams to work together. So that's kind of a really brief overview for you. Yeah, dude. I'm happy to help, dude. Excited to have you. Yeah, that ad set that we were talking about earlier is gonna be continuing to perform. Typically, after you increase budgets more aggressively, the performance drops a little bit, but then it comes back. Like, again, if you look at charts and you look at like CPA, CPR, whatever. Like, look, you have first day, or what? This is just the last 7 days. 7 days ago, it was a $54 CAC. Horrible. Next day, it was a $70 CAC. Horrible. Next day was a $42 CAC. Next day was a $19 CAC. Great. Whatever this was. Next day it was a $30 CAC. Great. Next day was a $27 CAC. Great. Next day was a $38 or $33 CAC. Great. Today it's a horrible CAC. Fine. Right? Like, blended. Which data do we use to scale Triple Whale Ads Manager, UTM, Shopify? Triple Whale Ad Manager are the two main ones. And then I've seen some ads for custom liquid blocks. What's your opinion on that? I do some custom code. Maybe we could save some time. Yeah, I mean, I would... If you can do it yourself, I would do it yourself, dude. I mean, I don't know, you know, the ads for the custom liquid blocks. I'm not, you know, we didn't use any of those. But I would, if you could do it yourself, I would do it yourself. If you can't do it yourself, I would hire somebody for, you know, $500 a month from a different country that knows how to code liquid and can just code for you full time. It's an expense, but in-house would be a great approach. Sweet, guys. I'm glad this was beneficial. If you want daily stuff like this, that's what we do in the premium end. Shameless plug. I'll catch you guys later. Thank you all for attending. Hopefully this was beneficial. Peace.